Hello, my friends. When we were taking forest monks in our program, I often thought, wow, I should be bringing the camera along and filming some of the experiences that we do with them. We did some of that for sure, but often the camera felt intrusive and trying to really give my attention to the people, to the forest monks, rather than to the filming process. Right now, we don't have any forest monks, and so we have a chance here, especially as the girls learn some of these skills, to share them with you as our family learns them. So I wanted to share today an exercise that we did with the forest monks. It's a fun campfire game that is also a skill builder. It teaches a couple of things. One is that it teaches a moral lesson, basically not to give up. It's a resilience builder, because we're going to be trying to get a fire going when it looks impossible to many eyes. Second of all, it really gets us in touch with some aspects of fire making, particularly that building of the heat into flame. If you are doing hand drill or bow drill or any other kind of ember-based fire making, then this comes in really, really useful. It's also a powerful skill for when you have come back to camp and maybe you've buried your fire and you come back and you dig it out and you just find a couple little coals. You can start a fire from that. This exercise challenges us to start a fire from a minimal heat source, a spark. That's why we call it the Sparkfire challenge.
Look it, I got a dagger.
Wow! The girls are setting the fire, and then we'll start the fire, and then we will bring you along with us to play this game. All right.
Because I made it a little different than others. Oh. So she can start right in there. Hit it. Now we're going to let this burn down a little bit until we just have some coals. Okay.
All right. Now we're ready for the game as this burns down. This is not a real good example, but if it was burned down more, some people come back to this fire and say,
I've got some here.
There's nothing left.
I have some here.
Yeah. But all we need is the tiniest little bit of orange in order to start a fire again.
I have some.
To practice that skill, you're going to want to get together a tinder bundle, and then we need to find a little bit of orange, like she's got. A thing that we did with the forest monks is we would use oak leaves.
Oh, there's some orange.
And then try to build our way to using less and less. So you might start out with, let's say, well, we're going to start with 5 here, oak leaves. With children, you might start with 10 or so. And we're going to start with that and try to work our way down to, boy, sometimes with 1 oak leaf or half an oak leaf, you can get flames.
Before you do that,
this is really going to teach us to nourish a tiny spark into flame. So for this example, we're going to start with 5 oak leaves. And you could use any kind of tinder you want that you were going to limit. So a certain amount of grass or a certain amount of shredded
I
birch,
see some.
whatever it was going to be.
Right there. That just knocked over.
And here I'm going to make a little mini tinder bundle. And then I'm going to select my orange. To begin
I've
with,
got some here.
I might start with, look at that. That's a huge piece. It's going to be pretty easy for me. I could start with a much smaller little chunk, or even just try to find one that barely has anything
I see that one.
on the end.
Oh, don't burn yourself. I have some.
But okay, we'll start with a big one. So here's a bigger one, and I'm going to set it inside there.
Dad, it's going to start a fire.
That's the hope.
I'm going to blow and try to nurture this into flame.
Don't burn
When
yourself.
I get flame, then I count myself successful there. And then I'm going to move to 4 oak leaves.
That's only.
Work my way down. You girls want to try this out?
I want.
You wanna try 8?
I want a bunch of protection
Okay.
for my hands.
We'll use more protection because it can get a little toasty on your hands. So Mirabelle's going to use 5. Here's a heat shield, and then you've got 5 here that you're crushing up in your hands, and you're going to deposit in the middle of that. Awesome, look at that.
Let me see if this is still on fire.
Yeah, you want to use the same one?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you want, I can hold it this first time, or do you want to try it?
I can try it,
Okay.
I guess.
So you're going to have to hold this in one hand and keep it cupped.
Oh, it's out. Darn it.
She's going to put the orange right onto the leaves and then start to blow it into flame. And see, this is going to teach us how to do a tinder bundle. We're going to learn how tightly things have to be packed as opposed to how loosely they have to be packed. We're going to find out how different materials take. And we're going to teach ourselves how to centralize that heat in a tinder bundle and then blow it to flame. So keep that orange right on your leaves, Mirabelle. Blow right on the orange and make sure the orange is touching. It's got to be touching the rest of that. Try to blow it in the flame. Yeah, nurture it, nurture it. Long, smooth breaths. She's trying a few different ones here, trying to get the hang of it. Hold it right down in there. Because all that heat needs to be condensed. Yeah. Yeah, you're close. Good. Toss it in. Way to go. All right. You want to try it, Liliana?
No. I am now.
No? We want to progress until we can take just one leaf, let's say, and I'm going to rip it in half. And crush it up.
Golly, Dad. I'm gonna go get my sweater back on.
I'm going to choose a pretty small one, if I can find one small enough. Okay, I'm just going to break off a little section. Whoop, that one's a little big.
That's what happened with me, is I found.
That's a little hot. Okay.
There's a little perfect.
And that one, and lost. I did not get my one oak leaf. It was close, but not quite. And that is a really fun game, is to try to see if you can get a one oak leaf flame. You'll toast your fingers a little bit. So my friends, that is the whole game. Again, you can use any tinder bundle material that you want to use. It's often fun to use just a monoculture bundle. So it's going to be just birch bark, just leaves, just dried pine needles, whatever it is you're going to use. And then start with a large amount and have some way to reduce that amount in a way that you can keep track of. And the other factor here is how small of a spark you use. If I use a really big, I'm probably not going to have too much trouble with something like this. Although when people learn to make fires initially, they might not look at this and say, here's something I can start a fire with. But this should be really, really easy for any of us to make a fire with.
I've got a surprise for you. Come on.
But if you choose a really tiny kind of a spark, a little teeny orange thing, then you're going to find that your challenge level goes up. So you're reducing the size of your spark and you're reducing the amount of tinder that you use. That creates a really fun game. You can sit around the campfire and play it. You'll be having fun while you sharpen your fire skills. Thanks for watching, my friends, and share in the comments if you've ever tried this before. If you do give it a try, tell us how it goes. If you try oak leaves, can you get down to 3, 2, 1? And just love to hear from you. All right, we'll talk with you soon.